Hi guys, yesterday's video was really short because it was an incredibly long day. We were at the hospital for a not so grueling, but grueling 10 hours while Brenton got his cyclophosphamide, which is his port injection chemo. And then he had 4 units, which is 2 bags of blood. And then he also had platelets. And now that was the end of induction 1. So that's kind of a cool thing. We've gotten through that step. So what happens now is he's going to have a downtime where he just takes his imatinib at home, which is for the Philadelphia positive portion. He'll have to take that through the whole thing. But just taking that, which doesn't make him sick. So that's going to be really, really good. He's suffered very, very, very badly this last month. He's been having some depression and anxiety about it. So I'm glad that he's getting off this. We did find out that he was C. diff positive. So that was another thing that was making him real sick and really tired and just not himself. So we are working things out one at a time. I'm in a lot of community groups and there's a lot of questions that they have that are really insightful. If anyone ever wants to ask questions here about what we're going through to see if it's similar to what they're going through. Like I had a question earlier today about did people have fever and night sweats this week into their chemo? Well, for us, Brenton had horrible fevers in the evenings and night sweats that were so bad that we would have to change his sheets before he was diagnosed, but after he went into the hospital for his first 5 days and he was on antibiotics the whole time. Since then, when he comes home, I mean, he's had the occasional fever where we've had to go back in, but the night sweats have pretty much all dissipated. Maybe once, I don't know. So here we go to the meaty part. So what happens next, right? So we've finished induction 1, we finished induction 2. We know there's this next phase called consolidation. Is it an option for us? So here's what happens. We have to wait until Brenton's body is ready to let us know what he can do next. So we have a lab value. It's called the ANC level. And that level will have to be over 1,000 before we are able to test his bone marrow for the white blood cells. Because if it's not, basically what would be happening is they drill in and they pull out and there just would be no white blood cells in there for them to even test. So this last draw, he was like 500 something. But the draw before that, he was only like 40 something. And knowing that he had cyclophosphamide yesterday and he was still on his cytarabine shots, there's an expected dip to increase for at least a little while. So there's a potential, which would be very exciting for us, that he could actually have up to maybe 4 weeks of a break where he wouldn't have to be doing any chemo or any procedures, just getting his blood checked. He'll go to Quest on Mondays and Thursdays, get his blood checked, and then Friday we'll go back into the clinic, meet with the doctors, just do physicals, see how everyone's feeling. And then eventually, when his ANC level's high enough, we will go in for the bone marrow aspiration. So what happens after that? Do we go to consolidation? Is that what it is? Well, hopefully is the answer. And we're praying and everyone's praying, and I believe that that will be what will happen. Now, he was supposed to go into remission after induction 1. He did not. So remission is below 0.05. And he unfortunately was 10% higher than that. He was 0.15, so 15% as opposed to less than 5%. So she said to us today, yesterday, not only does it have to be below 0.05, it can't even be 0.05. If it's 0.05, even that's unacceptable. It has to be 4.9 or less. So I said, okay, let's get all of our options. So if it is 0.05 or 0.06, then what happens? Then we will be talking about bone marrow transplants, which is a scary thing. And, she was asking, is brother a full brother? Yes, because now we're going to need to think about a possibility if everything doesn't go right, which it's going to, but if it didn't, possible donors and T-cell programs and things like that. On the flip side, since everything's going to go well, then he will go into consolidation. And that's where he's going to have to stay in the hospital for like 6 days at a time, getting quite heavy chemo, but also being backed by a team that's going to be able to help him deal with the nausea. And he's excited about it because last time he was in the hospital, he was immobilized. He was so deconditioned. He couldn't walk. He couldn't bathe. He couldn't go to the bathroom by himself. Whereas this time, he can do whatever he wants. He can go to the gym. He can go to the teen room, play video games. He can play his own video games. And I have an upcoming heart surgery. And I thought, you know what? Perfect timing. Let me wait till this gets through, get our dates for when he's going to be in the hospital. During one of those dates, since mine's an overnight surgery, I'll go while he's taken care of in the hospital by a full hospital staff, have a friend watch his little brother take him to school, and I'll just go to the hospital knowing that everybody's taken care of, and all I need to do is get my heart taken care of, and all three of us will be great. And then, yeah, that's it. Consolidation is going to be a bummer for him. It's not going to feel great. But we talked with a therapist yesterday, and he and I talked about it a little more today about she did an explanation of, if you're riding a wave, you're going to hit the peak of this wave and it's going to be high and it's going to, it might be scary because it might be 80 feet tall or something and you're way up there. But as you ride that wave, it's going to get lower and lower and lower and lower until you're back on the ground. So you just have to realize that when you're in the hospital or when you're at home and you're feeling these horrible feelings like, I don't want to go through this anymore. Not that I want to kill myself, but hey, if I died, I wouldn't really mind because I feel so bad. That's a normal feeling. I mean, anyone that's going through what he's going through would feel that. So remember that also you're going to end up feeling better in the end. And this is something that we have to do. And boy, oh boy, Jenna is amazing. The psychiatrist or psychologist that we see there, she helps us learn instead of saying but to use the word and. So if I were to say, he's made all this progress and he's doing this and this and this, but we're having trouble with this. She's like, we'll say, he's made all the progress in this area or love what he's doing in this area. And I think that we have some room for improvement in this area. It just sounds more positive, gives him a positive feeling about what he's doing and lets him open up the dialogue and say, okay, yeah, you know what, I can. And he has made leaps and bounds. I mean, he was in so much pain. He wasn't walking. He wasn't able to use the toilet. Now he's taking the dogs for walks. He's going upstairs to see his friends. He's finally planning on times for people to come over and see him, which has been hard for him with his hair loss and things like that. He hasn't wanted to go out in public, but he's finally coming around and I'm just so proud of him. He honestly is the toughest kid I know and my hero. And I just ordered some super duper cute shirts off Etsy. I can't wait to show them to you. But one of them says something like, it's not every lifetime that you get to meet your superhero, but I met mine. He's my son, or something along those lines. Just a bunch of really cute shirts. So I'll show you when I get them. So that'll be a cool unboxing. But what I need to do right now is I need to get more subscribes, more likes, hit the bell, hit the follow, hit the subscribe, tell your friends, anyone with ALL, non-classical Hodgkin's lymphoma, leukemia, lymphoblastic, B-cell, Philadelphia positive, anything, come on here. Not because I want to give tips, but because I need tips. We've only been going through this since the beginning of January, and I do not know anything. Like literally, I know nothing. I don't know neutropenic diets well. Like, I have to look up stuff all the time about, like, can you eat this? I don't know. Can you? So I would love to have a community of people that could be on here that we could help each other. And yeah, so please like, click, subscribe, share, comment, and I hope we get to know each other really well. So have a good evening, and I'll talk to you soon.